It is a Monday after Thanksgiving. The long NFL week is almost over. There were 3 games on Thursday, a game on Friday, a whole slate on Sunday, and it finally ends tonight with Giants-Patriots, a game you'll hear right here on The Fan. More on that as we get closer to game time, and also a show feature announcement coming up at 4:30, and we'll talk some Mets as well. So a lot to get to, but Joe B's Monday call-in with Evan and Tiki is brought to you by Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com, HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City, Tortler Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you, and by Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. Joe, hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving, and guess what? We have a Jets victory. How are you?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I mean, it was nice. It's always nice to win, bro. What else can I say? It looked like a professional team yesterday. Let's start with this. I'm going to start with this, okay? This is about the best that I have felt about the direction of this franchise in a long time. I really, and the coach, look, the bottom line on the coach is they're playing for him. They definitely play for him. There's no question. Got to cut out some of these nonsense penalties, like the guy doing the Watusi on the ground,
the prairie ball, yeah.
Whatever the hell he was doing there, And you can't have 2 false starts on the potential game-winning drive at the end of the game. Okay, when we could get into that, but they're playing for him. There's no doubt. Tyrod Taylor should have been playing long ago. If Tyrod Taylor would have been playing, most of the year, but the third game of the year, if he was playing, they'd be in the hunt now. They'd probably have a couple more wins than they do. But it was nice to see. And I tell you, bro, how about this? Does anybody in the NFL have better special teams than the Jets do?
That's incredible.
They got a great punter. They got a great kicker. They should have never let Nick Folk go. He's the best kicker the Jets have ever had, as far as I'm concerned. Right? They should have never let him go. The return game is unbelievable. This Isaiah Williams, they cut it. Glenn cut him. He had a big fumble in Miami. Remember, he had that fair catch on the 2-yard line, whatever it was.
Yep.
This guy has been he's been instrumental in every game they won. He had the big 80-something yard return yesterday. He had a big return, too, to set up the game-winning field goal drive. He got it to about the 45-yard line. He had the fumbled punt. We actually got a turnover, fumbled punt to get a gimme touchdown out of that. And, look, Tyrod Taylor I don't want to say he was great, but he did what he had to do to win. I mean, he made some big plays, the big pass to Mitchell.
The scramble.
Right. A couple of the touchdown scramble, and then the one on the game-winning drive where he got a first down. He ran, for 14 yards. Got out of bounds. That was a big play. He really played well, I thought. No turnovers. They didn't turn the ball over. Solid win. And I'm going to tell you this, okay? And look, they're not going anywhere this year. I think they're going to win more games. I think they're going to win at least a couple more games. Forget the first or second pick in the draft. It's not happening. Stop. If you're a Jet fan, stop, wanting them to lose. This team needs to learn how to win. This is a new regime, and it's about, it's not a coach on his way out. They need to learn how to win, and they need to win games.
Yeah. Joe, I think the biggest thing, we can get to the players and everything that's going on in the field, but you mentioned Aaron Glenn. I think he's learning and growing into this role. We talked about it in the press meetings and how he'd start to bring some levity into it. Then he got really snippy with Rich Samini, which was stupid. And then and then he walked
Garrett Wilson,
right? But then he kind of walked it back a little bit.
Right,
I don't really apologize, but you know what I mean. It just felt like his evolution from a public leadership standpoint is what I'm enjoying watching. And even on the field, when he's messing around with the red flag.
With the good call. He was right.
It was a great call, though. But it was like,
challenge.
It was like, you know you're wrong, and I'm just dropping this flag right next to you, like in this dramatic fashion.
Right.
It's just, I'm starting to enjoy his personality a little bit more, because I thought he was going to be kind of a jerk, and he's not.
Yeah, you're right, Tiki. He's learning on the job. You could see that they're building something there. And I got to tell you this, too, all right? As I watch, so far, Darren Muji has done nothing but give me a great hope that this guy knows what he's doing and he's going to pick the right quarterback. I have to tell you, I have confidence it's not Mike McCagnon or Joe Douglas or, God forbid, John Idzik, that he's going to pick the right quarterback. What he has done, okay, the fleecing of the Indianapolis Colts for the overrated and now injured Sauce Gardner to get 2 number 1 picks and to get this kid Mitchell, who right now is, let's be honest, I mean, he's almost a number 1 right now. He's clearly number 2 to Wilson, when Wilson comes back. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, really, those trades completely changed my feeling about the direction of this franchise and showed me, hey, you know what? They got an idea of what the hell they're doing. And I think that Muji, you got something with him. I mean, you look at the draft, Membo, Taylor, Thomas, Moore. These guys are all playing, okay? I mean, the degree of how good you think they are. Membo had kind of a rough day yesterday, but, he's been good. These kids are all playing. Mechie had a rough day yesterday too, but still, that was a terrific trade for Michael Carter. No doubt about it. You know what? Bringing guys like Phillips in, Griggs, these kind of guys, I feel good about him. I do. I have to tell you.
Yeah, and the trade deadline of Sauce and Quinnen did two things. Because you're right, like, they're not quitting on Aaron Glenn, and I wondered after trading away guys who maybe we were all ready to trade. I don't know how the locker room is going to react to it. You're taking away 2 Pro Bowl caliber
Williams
players.
Wanted out. I think Williams wanted out.
He did.
Sauce was a shock. Williams not so much.
But I never know what the room's going to do because in the locker room they may be like, "How the hell are we trying to win games?" They're 2-2 since they got rid of those 2 guys. So I think that shows a lot to your point about Glenn and how they're playing for the guy. Because that would have been easy to watch this team go the other way after those trades.
No question about it. And Tyrod should have been playing all along. They would at least be in the hunt. I think they would have had probably a couple more wins. But I feel pretty good about them. I mean, go win some games. Go beat the Dolphins. Give the Jaguars. That's a big game for Jacksonville. Go in there and at least give them a tough time. Dare I say, can we beat the freaking Patriots when we play them at home? I'm seeing progress, and I feel pretty good. And even about the draft, and I'm going to say this to everybody, okay, they're not getting the first pick. They're not getting the second pick. They got all this draft capital. If the Tennessee Titans get the number 1 pick, okay, now I don't know what they think about Cam Ward. I haven't seen the Titans play. Who's watching Tennessee play? I mean, you see them occasionally on the red zone. I don't know, they got 1 win all year, and they got hammered yesterday again, So I don't know, but I don't think Tennessee's taking a quarterback. So we have the draft capital to get up and get the first pick in the draft. If you think Mendoza, whoever it is, Simpson, Moore, whatever guy you want to think it is, I would think it's Mendoza. I know Muji has gone to a couple of Mendoza's games to see him play and all of that. And it seems to me that's the rate. That's where they're going. We'll get a better gauge of him as he starts to play the better competition. You got Ohio State Saturday night. That'll be interesting. Then going into the playoffs and start playing better teams because Indiana, outside of the big win at Oregon, has not exactly played a big time schedule. So we'll see. That's going to be interesting. But I feel good, bro. I really do. This is the first time in a long time I think the needle is actually pointing up for this franchise.
It's amazing what winning does, Joe.
But it's not even the winning. It's just the whole, like I said, once they made those trades, Tiki, that showed me they had an idea, they had a direction, okay?
Right, of course.
Of what we need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it happened on the fly. It wasn't like they planned this. We're going to stink, and then we're going to trade Quinn Williams and trade all these guys. Like you had to do this in real time, which is actually, I think, more impressive considering how you've set yourself up. Yet you also were in games, and you can win some of these games going forward. That's what's most impressive about where the Jets have pivoted, so to speak, in the middle of this season.
What I'm curious about, though, Joe, is I remember when Muji took over and Glenn took over, the first big decision they made, highly criticized by a lot of people, including yourself, and that was getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. Do you look at that now, and forget what's happening in Pittsburgh, they're 6-6, it was a disaster yesterday, but in terms of what this franchise decided to do, does it make you look at that decision and say, you know what, they were right about this to dump Aaron Rodgers?
I feel better about it. I think the one thing, though, the biggest mistake that Glenn made was thinking that Justin Fields could play. I mean, now, look, I think we're beyond that now. I think we're over that now. Fields is obviously not going to be the guy. I guess he's not very happy. I've heard rumors he doesn't want to run the Wildcat, whatever. All right, beautiful. Justin, take your $30 million and take off. I mean, whatever. But that's fine with me. I don't care. Look, he took a shot at it. He felt that the kid had something, and he turned out to be wrong. But it hasn't crippled the franchise in any way, shape, or form. So I feel good about him. I would bring Tyrod Taylor back next year to be the starting quarterback and to ease in whoever that rookie quarterback is going to be.
I think it would have crippled the franchise if, let's say, Rodgers was here,
right,
and they got off to a bad start.
Right.
Could you imagine his reaction if they traded Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams?
Yeah,
he lost his mind. He would have been done. He would have demanded they cut him, basically.
Right. It's turned out to be the right move. I'll say that. And look, he looks shot. I mean, he got hurt. He was playing hurt yesterday.
Yeah, now he looks old.
He took that one shot from Boza, where he got the bloody nose and all that, and had to leave the game. I mean, the end is near for Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubt.
Couple of decisions from the game, and maybe this was. I went yesterday, so I sat in the rain for 3 hours. So maybe that.
Really? Did you take your son yesterday?
I took my youngest son, Spence, who now loves football. So
how old is he?
He's 5. He had a great time.
In the rain with you without an issue?
Yeah, and he said, "When are we coming back?" So
really,
maybe
that's good.
At the Dolphins.
That's because he likes winning. You get to see. You get to see winning. You want to go.
That's
true. Maybe you know what? He won. Maybe you should go to all the games. Go to the Dolphins. Get ready for the Dolphin game. Let's go to the Patriot game.
I think I may. I mean, especially when
I'm thinking about going next week. We'll see. It depends on the weather. For me now, if it's not relatively, I can do it when it's cold. If it's going to be any precipitation,
rain is rough, man. It just
for the playoffs, I would.
Yeah, for the playoffs, it's sit on hot coal. I mean, I'll sit in fire, but when it's raining,
stop getting ahead of yourselves.
Well, but I'm saying that's the only way you get me.
Yeah,
now
of course. No, I hear you.
That kind of a game.
There were 2 plays
bad weather game
that I was sort of annoyed by. I want to go back to the opening drive of the game. You got a 4th and 2 from the Atlanta 48. I know it's raining. Yeah, go for it, right?
I was very surprised he didn't go for it there and he punted. I would have went for it for sure. Yeah, I so far it seems like he's going for it. I think he was spooked by what happened last week when he went for it on 4th and 2 against the Ravens and didn't get it. See, he shouldn't have went for it in that situation. He should have went for it yesterday. I agree with you.
The other one, and I am definitely convinced I felt this way because after 3 hours and 15 minutes, I was ready to go home. I did not want overtime. When they scored the game-winning touchdown, Tyrod Taylor scrambles.
You want to go for 2?
Yes. Did you?
I did think go for 2. The reason I think he didn't do it is because he had 3 timeouts left. I think that's the reason he didn't do it. There was
I think you're right.
50. He still had 3 timeouts. He said, "Wait a minute, I'm better off, kicking the extra point." And look, it worked out. I thought it was. You know what I thought was a bad call. 24-24 when they got the ball back and they're on their own 6-yard line, 10-yard line, whatever it was, and they should have ran. They had 2 timeouts.
Yes.
They should have ran the ball there. He has him throw, and Membo gets beat and he gets sacked, and that really killed that drive. And they got and this was a big point in the game too that nobody's talking about. The punt by McNamara after that, basically from the end zone, that pinned them back on about their own 35, 36-yard line.
Huge.
That was a huge punt. I thought for sure they're going to get the ball at midfield or better. And their kicking game is outstanding, there's no doubt. That was a huge punt.
Monstrous. It goes to the first thing you said about special teams. It's not just Nick Folk. It's not just them actually forcing a turnover on the muff. It was that play because you're spot on. They were getting the ball at midfield. I thought, it's going to be easy. They're going to win the game.
Yep, that's what I thought. No question about it. They come up with a 3 and out. There was a couple drops in there. How about the play of all people? 2 people I got that we have killed forever that I have to give some credit to. Michael Clemens actually got a sack.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I had to do a triple take, number 72. And how about the play? And it was on the game-tying touchdown drive. Where it was 3rd down, too. Taylor throws a pass, it gets tipped, and somehow, of all people, Alan Lazard.
In the middle of the field. No business being anywhere near that.
Catch,
That's
right? How big a play was that?
I thought it was interception. The way that thing was floating in the middle of the field, I was like, this is pick. This is pick. Game over. It's going the other way.
Unbelievable. You knew it. You felt good about our chances when especially Lazard making that catch, who's done nothing for basically 3 years here. How long?
Every time Alan Lazard's out there, I almost forget he's on the team. I'm like, oh my God, Alan Lazard is still here.
I know. There's no doubt about it. But it was a nice win. Tyrod played well. I'm all for bringing Tyrod back next year to be the tutor to whoever the quarterback's going to be. So Breece Hall, they need to bring him back. He had a pedestrian game yesterday. I believe the record now, and you can look this up, and I've heard different things about this. I think they're 18-5 when he scores a touchdown Believe it or not.
Wow.
Think about it. Look that up. It's ridiculous what their record is when Breece Hall puts the ball in the end zone.
What was interesting about Breece Hall, and I had to look it up after the game just to see if this is true. It felt like he was on the field the entire time, and he was.
Yeah.
He was on the field for 90% of the snaps yesterday.
As he should be.
As he should be.
By the way, that was Alan Lazard's only target and only catch, and it wasn't even targeted for him.
Yeah, right. And it was a huge play in the game.
Huge.
You know? It was a big play in the game. The other thing, too, the penalties, they got to cut this out. There was some big – Mechie had a bad game. He dropped a couple passes. One over the middle would have been a first down, and he dropped another one by the goal line that would have given him I believe that was the field – I believe that was on the drive after the return by Williams to whatever it was, wherever he got it to, the 15-yard line. And he dropped that pass on third down, and they wound up settling for a field goal. And he also had a holding penalty that really hurt the drive. How about Atlanta? They got one penalty all day yesterday. I mean, come on. You tell me there wasn't one holding penalty on the Falcons yesterday?
Dude, that was a disaster. How about Tyrod getting hit late on the ground, and they didn't call that one either?
And they called it with Cousins, who barely got touched barely in the face, and Cousins is going like this to Hockley. It was Sean Hockley. It was the referee. Another winner. Just like his father.
I
love the officials. You know that.
Well, they had a rough weekend. Forget just the Jet game. How about the missed extra point that they said was good?
Oh, yeah, right. That's right.
Then you got the penalty, the mess-ups in the Washington-Denver game. I mean, they feel like they're consistently worse every single year.
The officiating.
Every year, every week.
Every week, yes.
The officiating in the NFL is terrible.
It is. Yeah, how about the strip sack on the tush push for the Eagles?
Yeah. Right.
How come it works for them? It doesn't work for us?
I know, it's unbelievable. Look, you know what? Look, I don't trust the officials anyway, especially in this day and age with all the nonsense that swirls around with all these different gambling companies. Who knows?
I looked it up.
I'm not accusing anybody, but to me, it can't be ruled out either.
This is the problem when you get into bed with gambling. It opens up those questions when there's bad officiating. It used to just be incompetence. Now is it incompetence or is it crookedness?
Right. And how about this? And I don't know. How about this? You talk about bad, and this wasn't because I'm all over the college too, and I don't know if you saw. Did you watch the Michigan-Ohio State game?
I didn't see it. I missed it.
Okay. There was a play. Go look at this play. The kid Smith was a tremendous receiver for Ohio
Jeremiah
State.
Smith, he's a stud.
He is. 6-3 is the score. Right, I think it was on fourth down too. Sayin throws this pass to Smith in the corner. Looks like a
the fumble, like the sack
he juggled the ball.
Yeah, he juggled it, and they counted it a touchdown.
It should have been a touchback.
Right,
and they looked at it and they called it a touchdown.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Come on! I mean, look, Michigan wasn't going to beat them anyway. But I mean, can you make the right call there?
Yeah, that one was obvious. The ball was loose when he crossed the goal line.
No question about it.
And he didn't reestablish possession until
he went out of bounds.
Until his foot was out of bounds.
That's right.
I did see that.
So it's not just the NFL referees; it's the college ones too. So, that was pretty bad. But look, it's nice to win. Wake up on a Monday morning, you got a smile on your face. Nick Folk is money. I got to tell you, bro, I was super confident he was making that kick. I got to tell you.
Really?
I was.
Well, after the penalty, I thought he's going
to miss it by 2 yards.
You know what? I didn't think that at all. He had missed one already. Right. He actually missed one that was, I think, a yard shorter.
Yeah, it's close.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. This guy's money. Nick Folk. I mean, come on, bro. We were there in Indianapolis.
Yep.
Kicked the game to win that game in the playoffs in Peyton Manning's last game as the Colt quarterback. He's the best kicker we have ever had, and they never should have let this guy go. I have tremendous confidence in Nick Folk, and I actually felt he's going to make it, and the way he made it. Tiki, it looked like a little 2-iron shot.
Oh, dude,
that stayed about 10 yards off the ground, right?
That's why I thought it was. That's why I thought it was short. I was like, that thing didn't get. It was over the bar for maybe, I don't know, a foot, less than a foot.
Just inside the left upright. It was just inside it and barely cleared it.
But it traveled that height the whole way.
Right. Yep. And I guess he tried to kick it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, so, thank God. Hey, Ev, at least you got soaked. Your son enjoyed a win, and he won.
Exactly.
So,
it was a big victory.
Take them to the. I don't know if the weather's going to be so good this weekend. Take them to the Dolphin game.
Well, the early return looks like it's going to be cold, but no rain, and that's the key. That's
cold, I don't care.
Yeah, the cold you just bundle up, hand warmers, no big deal.
Right,
you
I
get
can live
through
with
it.
cold. We have to play. We were at that Cincinnati game, the last game ever at the old. Remember that?
Yes.
At the old Giant Stadium.
That is the coldest game I've ever been at. That was unbelievable.
Cold. Yes, it was colder than Pittsburgh for the championship game.
No question.
Right? That was unbelievable. I remember sitting in the parking lot in the car, right, until about 15 minutes before kickoff. And Cincinnati had no desire to play football.
Zero. They didn't get off the plane that night. It was unbelievable. It was a party.
No, we had a party that night. We froze, but I think what did we win? 41-0.
Yeah, it was a blowout. Yep, it was an easy one.
That.
And by the way, you're right. 18-5 when Breece Hall gets in the end zone.
There you go.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. That's quite the stat.
No doubt. Thank you, Joe. Good talking to you, man.
Hey, God bless, guys. I'll talk to you Monday, all right?